The vessel's standby is assisting a tanker at Tordenskjold's SPBM. Good, but there are sizable swells that day. Standby receives a message from the tanker that one of the lifting cables on the loading pipe has snapped and they require assistance to make the repair. The captain on standby decides to use a mob boat with a crew of 4 to replace the damaged portion of the lifting cable. The crew on the mob boat repairs the cable by first disconnecting one end of the lifting cable from the chain while the other end remains attached to the loading pipe. To the lifting cable and the loading pipe, they fasten it to the mob boat with a hawser. Large swells make working conditions dangerous, and the crew on the mob boat decides to stop the repair work. The alarm sounds. The man overboard alarm goes off. What's wrong? Look at the incident to see what went wrong. Shall not be used for this type of operation. They shall only be used during training or for real rescue operations. Repair work, they need to disconnect the new cable they just fastened to the end of the hawser. The cable is attached to, they need to slacken the mooring hawser. The damaged cable on the loading pipe is fastened to the mob boat. The slack mooring hawser pulls the mob boat down. Pulling the mob boat down, combined with swells, capsize the boat and the crew is thrown overboard. What in advance of this incident have when personnel use a mob boat or lifeboat? Routines? Questions before you go on. Similar incidents from happening again, we are going to take a closer look at the underlying conditions revealed by the investigation into this incident. Mob boat for this type of operation is only one of several breaches of safety regulations and poor risk assessments. It seems like everyone who is directly involved practices poor leadership, and essential procedures are lacking for this situation. A risk assessment was not conducted before giving the green light to the operation and lowering the mob boat. The of the tanker should also have informed the platform manager about the need for assistance to repair the lifting cable. I should have informed both the platform and the tanker about the plans for the repairs. The standby should also have discussed the use of the mob boat with everyone involved and received eventual final approval from the platform manager before initiating the repair work. The manager on Tordenskjold should have taken initiative for both a risk assessment and approval for initiating the repair work. During a joint risk assessment, important information and experiences could have been shared. As no joint risk assessment of the operation, no one manages to foresee that the hawser fastened to the lifeboat and a damaged lifting cable will pull the mob boat down. Involved do anything when routines are clearly broken or lacking. Heal actors who don't collaborate, but rather just get to work to save time. Have developed where you work, where several people are involved, and where one person initiates work before a joint risk assessment is conducted. Answer by clicking yes or no and discuss the next questions before moving on. Improve communication. Who for coordinating this kind of operation? With adequate risk assessment, no one considered the need for emergency preparedness for this special operation. "13 minutes from when the boat capsizes to when the crew is picked out of the sea." The risk assessment and poor leadership, things fortunately worked out all right this time. If it had been different, this incident could have been extremely serious. If stuck in or hit by equipment in the water when the mob boat capsized, lives could have been lost. Safety seriously for minor operations as well? Do you always conduct a safe job analysis or pre-job discussion before starting a job? Do you need training in risk assessments? Discuss these questions before you finish. Our work is never so important or so urgent that we don't have time to do it safely.